Report in. Volume 11 of this file measured a campaign against the objective it was sold on, and the ships told us the answer. Tonight is a different kind of check, and an easier one, because it does not require a trend or a forecast or a projection. It requires a calendar. The President made an assessment on July 24th about what Iran has left. The record of what happened on July 24th is available. Same day, soldier, same 24 hours. That is the whole test. The claim, exactly as stated. On July 24th, the President said Iran had lost its naval and air capabilities, and that Iran has very few drones left, despite media reports to the contrary. Note that last clause, soldier, despite media reports to the contrary. That is not a man unaware there is a competing account. That is a man telling you to disregard it. So let us not use media reports. Let us use the log of that day. Here is what the same date carries, and I am going to be careful about the sourcing on the first part. Iranian forces claimed drone attacks on 5 bases across 4 countries that day: Sheikh Isa in Bahrain, Muwaffaq Salti in Jordan, Udeid in Qatar, and Camp Arifjan and Camp Buehring in Kuwait. Now, those are Iran's claims about Iran's own strikes, and a combatant bragging about its own attacks is the least reliable witness on any battlefield. This desk does not treat those as proven, and neither should you. Hold them loosely. Now the part that is not a claim, and this is the evidence the whole report rests on. On that same July 24th, over the city of Erbil, the Kurdistan Counter-Terrorism Service intercepted 5 to 6 explosive-laden one-way attack drones. Understand the difference in the sourcing, soldier. Nobody in Tehran is telling us that number. It comes from the force that fired the interceptors, counting the things it shot out of its own sky over a city where the United States keeps a consulate. You cannot shoot down a drone that does not exist. And drones are only the part of the arsenal that was named. Before this war began in February, Iran held roughly 2,500 K-Bar-Shakan medium-range ballistic missiles. Analysts tracking this note that the advanced variants have evaded American defenses, that they maneuver in their terminal phase at speeds up to 6,000 miles an hour, and that Iran may currently be assembling more from components held in underground facilities. A stockpile that can be rebuilt below ground is a different problem from a stockpile that has been spent, soldier. It does not surrender when the bombing stops. The fair reading, and it gets the full weight, because degradation here is real, and this file has documented it. American forces have struck over 1,000 targets in this phase, by U.S. officials' own count. After the volumes this desk has filed on Hormuz, the claim that Iran has lost naval capability may be substantially true. And here is the honest technical point. A stockpile can be shrinking fast and still be lethal today. Very few left, as a trajectory, might even be right. But that is not what was said. What was said was a description of the present tense, on a specific date, and on that date, they were still flying. Why does an assessment matter more than a boast? Because this one is load-bearing. What the enemy has left is the number that decides whether you keep bombing or start negotiating. It decides what force protection posture the troops at those bases go to sleep under. And it decides what a commander tells a family when something gets through. Get that estimate wrong in public, and you have not just misled voters, soldier. You have set the wrong expectation for the people standing under the sky you just described as empty. And the people who carry that cost are not in the room where the sentence was said. They are at Sheikh Isa, at Muwaffaq Salti, at Udeid, at Arifjan and Buehring, and they are the air defense crews at Erbil who spent that day doing the work that the same day's statement said was no longer necessary. Nobody in that group gets to grade the assessment on a trend line. They grade it on whether the alarm goes off tonight. The honest after action. Iran is being degraded. That is documented, and this file has said so repeatedly. The claim on trial is narrower, and it is dated. Very few drones left, said on July 24th. On July 24th, Kurdish air defense shot 5 or 6 of them out of the sky over Erbil, and that count came from the people holding the launchers, not from Tehran. A stockpile you can still be shot down by is not a stockpile that is gone. Check the intercept log, not the podium. That's the after action. Dismissed. I'm Mark, and this is Pixel Politics.